say. Good afternoon, everybody. The title of my paper is The Critical Discourse Analysis of a Newspaper Editorial Promoting Insurance. So, just an introduction to insurance industry in Sri Lanka. So the survey says, data says that it is struggling to establish itself as a successful industry. So there are many reasons for that. So there's a reference saying that it is the life insurance policy is yet to be realized, and industry still remains to be a small subsector accounting less than 3%. And further, there are reasons for that. Low per capita income, higher cost of living, and the Sri Lankan non-life insurance sector also not doing very well. 62% of the sector is coming under motor insurance, and there are 52 or something third party. So that is the picture of insurance there. So what is that? The significance of my research here is I am relating the discourse of insurance to linguistic strategies, discourse strategies, and language features. That is my idea. By analyzing the language used in the discourse of insurance, I would like to reveal certain implications, ideological maybe, through that. So here the past research says that the promoter is in companies and media, and the promotee, the insured, the clients and the media consumers, and the promoted, the insurance policies, are not constructed on equal terms. The use of language plays an important role in marketing process, and there's a kind of language is looked at as a social practice, and both depend on each other. So my methodology says it's a critical discourse analysis. So critical discourse analysis highlights issues of power asymmetries, manipulation, exploitation, structural inequities in the areas education, media, and politics. And also now this insurance and the personal selling has not been researched very well, the research says. So there's a significant need for studying this aspect linguistically in a mass media like a newspaper. So what is my objective here? To expose how the media exploits the trust between the public and itself, and foreground the performance of the ruling government and the promotion of insurance. And the second one, to describe what thematic constructions are used to develop develop this positive discourse of insurance promotion, and to reveal how the media background and deviate from negative factors such as inequality levels on all the dimensions, economic, political, cultural system structures, practice in contemporary Sri Lanka, which discourage the people from becoming the insured or the insurees. And also to show how the media use these same system and structures conveniently to create a risk society, and insurance as a risk management and a risk-based business. So to identify the linguistic strategies used in the editorial, I have selected an editorial implying meanings in a subtle manner, diplomatically utilizing them as part of their persuasive tools. So as I have already told you, I have selected an editorial. The title is New Vistas in Insurance, that appeared June 28, 2019 in Daily News. So it's a qualitative analysis on how the media project insurance as a social welfare scheme and a fundamental need for human existence explicitly, but implicitly encourage it as a commercial venture at the cost of hiding or kind of belittling our religious, cultural, social, political, economic values and reality in a subtle manner. So I have chosen that. There are literatures and this interactional socio-linguistic discipline covers this area, this kind of research here. Further, The government proposes friendly discourse, institutional discourse, and task-oriented discourse in persuasion strategies. And insurance business needs a construction of risk society. Business or political ideologies, media discourse, and socialization have to be streamlined to encourage a particular business or mobilize mass support for, to a political party. So there are many influencing factors which determine the success of insurance. The accountability and responsibility of the individual consumer, the erosion of the social safety net, fragmentation, individualism, the attenuation of family ties, the growth of a flexible labor force, and the downgrading of regulatory responsibility from the government. So I will skip because of the time factors, certain literature I want to skip. The title of the editorial is New Vistas in Insurance. So the nominalization New Vistas itself is a kind of personified hope for insurance booming in Sri Lanka. So it just tells us something about the futurization, an asserted evaluation that it has bright future in Sri Lanka, and people definitely will get benefited. So that is the way the title has been developed here, and detopicalizes the failure and the causes of the failure of this financial business in the past in Sri Lanka. So the writer positions himself as the promoter of the insurance sector and positions the Sri Lankan reader as the unrealized, ignorant or discouraged person. And also there's a kind of appeal to time also. So in summary, the total editorial there are 10 paragraphs there. So in the first paragraph, a kind of philosophication, discourse of philosophication is used to promote insurance. Then it tells something about the unexpected event and the binaries, discourse binaries like traditional, modern, today, tomorrow, expected, unexpected. So it's a kind of it instills fear about human existence, and it's a kind of insurance is an existential truth. It tries to project a kind of a discourse, meaning that it's an existential truth. We need that, otherwise we can't live in this modern life. The second one is about economization of in the second paragraph, it talks about the economy, how Sri Lanka has performed poorly in the past when it comes to insurance sector. The third paragraph is kind of theologizing and culturalizing the issues. And the paragraph talks about how we are culturally very strong, and that's why we are able to stand for anything, any risk. So culturally we are smart, so we don't need insurance, like that. It tries to project, but its intention is the other way around. So it's trying to show the kind of some linguistic strategies to show that it is sympathetic with our cultural strength, cultural values, but on the other hand, indirectly, it imposes a kind of that this should be deculturized to make insurance a successful business. The third paragraph, the fourth paragraph is kind of what you can say, developmentalism. That means it talks about free healthcare. Free healthcare in Sri Lanka, we have been enjoying that benefits, free healthcare. So the editor appreciates that at the surface level. So Sri Lanka has benefited because of the health policy, free healthcare and all that. But in the use of some linguistic strategies, he said because of this reason, the insurance is performing very low here. So indirectly speaking, the editorial construct a negative attitude towards the free health policy in Sri Lanka. Then the fifth paragraph is kind of nationalizations. So in the nationalization, you could see that the editorial talks about farmers, insurance for farmers and insurance for school children. But I have enough evidence and reports and evaluation surveys to prove that farmers' insurance and the school children, insurance for school children have failed. And many complained. There are reports, and I can't show you everything, but in my full paper it is there. So that is the way it says. Then, of course, my time is limited, so it's there, they have shown that. So in that way, the paragraph, the sixth paragraph, insurance is spiritualized to make it like we people are very religious. Sri Lankans are very religious. So when that religious ideas are taken up, like the disciples of Buddha, they are going to have a insurance scheme. So it try to relate that to advertise for a commercial insurance scheme for people. And the other hand, in that, okay, I will skip. Finally, in paragraph 9, they have come to the main purpose, commercialization of this discourse. Then it should be that all people should go for this kind of discourse, right? So I have just, these are some linguistic strategies I have analyzed, and these are the linguistic strategies I have used in my paper, in my full paper. Through that, we are coming to develop that. Right, maybe the findings, the last slide, please excuse me, give me 1 minute, maybe the last slide I'll show you. Right, so the reliability and the validity of the discourse cannot be satisfactorily established, that is one. Then it foregrounds the prominence of the ruling government and the promotion of insurance, and backgrounds the inequality and inequity levels of the economic, political, cultural system practiced in contemporary Sri Lanka. These systems need a paradigm shift to make insurance accessible and available to the majority of the people in Sri Lanka, but that is not happening. And linguistic strategies imply meanings in a subtle manner, diplomatically utilizing them as part of their persuasive tools. So it portrays the insurance companies and the government as the experts in the human security of the people, dependable and trustworthy. And the last one, so it reinforces the necessity of the insurance services and the political, economic, cultural, security, developmental challenges of life that make insurance mandatory. Thank you.